following announcement has been paid for by the
one-man game.
It's showtime, folks!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm glad to have you once again. I'm here to talk wrestling. You see the title. I'm here to talk about the two biggest winners and the two biggest losers from the WWE Shakeup. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe to this page. I'd like to grow this page so it can reach the masses. Feel free to share this page as well. And also, I'd like to ask you to follow me on Twitter at SwissArmyKnife4. I have some spirited wrestling talks and debates on there, so feel free to follow me. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's start with the biggest winners. First up, I have Kevin Owens. Look, Kevin Owens has done a phenomenal job on Raw. He done a great job being the Universal Champion, but he's back in the mid card. And while the feud with Jericho has been great, I don't see any way that Owens can move up further from that into the main card again and be what he was as the Universal Champion, because it looks like Roman Reigns eventually is going to have that settled off, and Brock Lesnar is the champion. He's not going to be Brock Lesnar. So moving to SmackDown is a move of genius because they place importance on their mid-card title. I mean, the first show was a #1 contendership main event match for the United States Championship. So that goes to show how important that Kevin Owens is already. So he's going to, with the way it is now, he's gonna, if he goes on to beat Jericho, he's gonna have a feud with AJ Styles, the top guy in the company, if you ask me. So he's already one of the top guys on SmackDown with the likelihood to move up into the main event soon, soon enough. So he's a big winner as it pertains to that. My biggest winner of all, though, is Sami Zayn. He was pretty much doing nothing on Raw, and I mean, outside of jobbing to people and sucking up to the general managers, now he moves on to SmackDown and he's in the main event on the very first night. He's in a prime situation because, as I just said, SmackDown values their mid-card title highly, and you know, Zayn is gonna be hovering around that mid-card scene, may have a feud with Corbin or whomever, and then he's gonna, I can see him hopping into the US title scene once Kevin Owens and AJ Styles is done, and he's gonna be a prominent player on SmackDown as they're going to focus on his strengths, which is being a fantastic wrestler. So I'm interested to see what how high Sami Zayn goes up on the ladder on SmackDown. Now, moving on to my two biggest losers from the WWE Shakeup, we have, to start off with, we have Bray Wyatt. Look, Bray Wyatt did some phenomenal things on SmackDown. He was the WWE Champion. Unfortunately, lost a little bit of momentum after losing at WrestleMania to Randy Orton. But he was in the main event scene. He was the top player on SmackDown as it pertains to being the champion. And moving over to Raw, he has a feud set up with Finn Balor, but I mean, I don't see the promotion as it comes to Raw as I would easily see it in SmackDown. I mean, I just see Bray Wyatt being held down there, and you know, him being a steady hand as opposed to a guy that's at the top of the brand. I definitely see him going down the list on Raw, as I think he'll get caught up behind the list of guys that are set to be in the main event. So moving on to my moving on to my biggest loser, and that is The Miz. I mean, The Miz was on his way to being the guy, and I seen major promotion for him because he was working his way up, and he was doing great with the John Cena knockoff, and he has been like the second or third best thing about SmackDown ever since the split. So I've seen him on his way to a world title shot, but going to Raw, much like Bray Wyatt, I see it even worse for The Miz that he'll get caught up in the shuffle, because I mean they had him lose his first night to, I think it was Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn was going to SmackDown, so I mean that wasn't really a good call there. And I mean, while The Miz looks to be on his way to a feud with Dean Ambrose, outside of that, I mean I don't really see him being an important player. Much like Bray Wyatt, he's going to be held to a certain point, and you know the main event scene is going to be held off for others. And The Miz, I mean, he's definitely going to get caught up in the shuffle. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong about that, but that's just the way I see it going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, WWE Shakeup was good enough. We've seen some big names move, and now I'm ready to see how it plays out. It'll be interesting to see how everything goes, the future feuds, the future matchups, and I will definitely be watching with a close eye.